What's up, guys? DK here with Collector's Impact, and man, this week has been a really busy one in terms of news for the card grading sphere, that's for sure. So at this point, I have three major updates to share with you guys. You may already be aware, you may not, I don't know, but these three things in unison are kind of interesting, so I figured I'd just go ahead, put them out there, share them with you guys in case you may not be aware. And we'll just discuss it in general as well, since it probably will have an impact on the market and grading and all that stuff, which is what we love to cover on this channel. So the first thing to note is that PSA has reopened for express grading. At the first sound of that, it sounds good, sounds promising, but there's always a but. It's $200 a card. So yeah, so there's that. And then you combine that with the fact that it's a 3-month wait period. So let's just put this in perspective, guys. Back in the before times, back in 2019 and early 2020-ish, you could send in a card for economy grading, which costs $20 at that time. It may have even been cheaper, actually. You see, things are blending in my memory here. It may have been like $15, but I know for a fact that economy was $20 when I started sending stuff in bulk. So yeah, we'll just go with that price point. It was like $20 with an expected turnaround rate of 3 to 4 months. So now, it's $200 for an expected turnaround rate of 3 to 4 months. So yeah, obviously, I guess I'm a little bit salty about that. I was kind of hoping for some better news, especially because before they did their shutdown, they had raised the price from $75 for Express, which took 2 weeks, to $150 at 3 months. And now they've just gone ahead and raised it another $50 more dollars. So basically, it's sending the message of, yeah, we're open technically, but we're still not ready for you. It's kind of that's the vibe that I'm getting. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to go with the full-on greed angle on this. I mean, the market conditions just aren't right for it to be like a total greed play. There's not a lot of strong steam behind the engine anymore, you know what I mean? Things are kind of cooling down quite a bit. There's been quite a retrace in all of the markets for cards, especially sports and Pokemon have been cooling off pretty significantly. Those were the really hot ones, and now they're pretty cool. The Marvel stuff is also cooled off quite a bit. I mean, the water is cold, guys. It's a good time to jump in. It isn't freezing or anything. It's kind of like swimming in a river. You know what I mean? For anyone who may be into that level of outdoor activity, so it can be enjoyable. There's plenty to be gained from it, but it's a little uncomfortable to be in that pool right now. So hope you like my random analogies. Final thoughts on that. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens as they continue to open up the tiers. I mean, I knew that it was going to be like a one service open at a time kind of a thing. That's just what my gut told me, though they caught me off guard with the price point, as I'm sure they caught a lot of people off guard. And they're just not ready. Yeah. So that's really about all that I can say about that. But on to the next piece of news. I'm not going to get too into the weeds on this. I mean, there's a lot to unpack here, but we're going to keep it pretty high level for this particular video. If we want to dive in a little more, we can in a follow-up. But yeah, Goldin Auctions, which deals with a lot of course, graded card auctions and all of that, was recently acquired by Collectors Holdings, which is the group that owns Collectors Universe, which is PSA. So, yeah, PSA, or the investment group that is involved with PSA and their ownership, now owns Goldin Auctions as well. And, I mean, it's interesting for quite a few reasons, but a key thing to note is that Goldin Auctions doesn't exclusively just deal in PSA cards. They do actually deal in pretty much all graded cards. So there's a little bit of crossover there with the other third parties, but it still does open the door quite a bit for PSA in an exclusivity type of model. And I'm really not too sure how to feel about that, guys. I mean, it's your typical corporate kind of scenario, you know, more acquisitions, more power and market share, and the potential for some tinfoil hat shadiness. But, you know, so I guess we'll just leave it at that. I mean, let me know what you guys think about that. It's kind of interesting news, that's for sure, and it may have an overall impact on PSA and the market and all of that, depending on what they want to do now with Goldin auctions. If they're going to maybe try some new things out there and try to get like super competitive with eBay and maybe try to take some of that market share. So this is an interesting development in the space, and I'll definitely be keeping a pulse on it, as I'm sure you guys will too, because there's a lot of potential behind this move, and I think that there's a lot of aggression in their acquisition strategy, you know, for dominance and market share. That's, in a nutshell, that's it. So, and the last piece of news, which is somewhat related, is that CCG, the company that owns, of course, CGC as well as CSG and all those other fun things. They grade comics, cards, Pokemon cards, Magic cards, and more importantly, coins and paper currency and things of that nature, is all under CCG. That company was recently acquired by an investment group called Blackstone. That's a pretty interesting development as well, and it's interesting that it's all happening at the same time. Now, I've heard some rumors. I still need to research this a bit more, you guys. You guys feel free to research this too, and let me know what you find in the comments if you want. I'm still looking into it, but I think that there is some crossover between some of the people who are involved in these various investment groups, which would make sense from a strategy perspective. And again, it really falls in line with a more aggressive style of market domination for Goldin Auctions PSA, and now CCG as well, who will also be involved with Goldin Auctions in the sense of those products are sold through there. So it's just all a lot of interesting acquisitions and things that are taking place that are seemingly unrelated, but there's some crossover there too. So just lots of interesting things from the business side of this, and yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys. So hopefully you found this information interesting. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Of course, it really helps with the videos and the algorithms and all that kind of stuff, and I appreciate that very much. And I'm sure the next video will be about cards and collectibles as per the usual. I just wanted to give you guys this quick market update. So thanks again for coming by. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care.